The views and opinions expressed in this podcast do not necessarily reflect those of Into the Pit or the Vibes Broadcast Network. This show is intended for mature audiences. Please welcome your host, Coyote Knight.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of Into the Pit. Tonight we have a very special guest, one of the stars of TV's Ghost Brothers, the Marcus Harvey. Hello, Marcus.
What's going on? I think you messed that up. You're supposed to say the sex symbol of Ghost Brothers first off, and then that's how you, yes.
You know what? Well, you'll just have to come back on another time. I'll make sure I'll get it right. Now, if you are a follower of the show, then you know that Marcus is not only a paranormal investigator, but a very skilled barber as well.
I'm also a client, sort of like, oh man, my head fell out again. I'm still here though, guys.
No problem. So, let's give him a very warm welcome. And Marcus, I want to start off and ask you, what is it that makes Mr. Harvey tick? Or in other words, what is your motivation?
Oh, man, as you can hear in the background, this little girl screaming in the back, Nova, my wife Christina, my son Kingsley, those are truly my inspirations and motivations to like really make sure that I'm doing something productive with my time because they're really cute. So with them being really cute, I don't like to not be around them a lot. You understand?
I understand that very much. Unfortunately, I'm about 4 hours away from my grandkids, and I miss them a lot.
Oh man. So yeah, just the love of the love for my family, my parents. Trying to make sure that I'm always doing right by them, and then just trying to be an inspiration, I guess, in a sense. I'd much rather be somebody who's doing something than someone not. So I think that's what my motivation is.
Oh, that's wonderful because one of the things I wanted to mention later on, but since you brought it up, is that you've always been such a positive person, or that's the way you portray yourself. And do you have advice for those that are looking to do what they want to do in life?
Yeah, such as yourself, Kyle. With me even being on this podcast, you've shown an example of somebody who's like really just pursuing their dream. I think that it's really very simple. I mean, life is going to go by regardless. You're only literally going to live one life. There's no rehearsal for this. This is not going to be a second do over. So it's like, why not try to accomplish as many things as possible? Why not try to create as many artifacts as possible and really believe in yourself and not necessarily be the first person to count yourself out. A lot of times people be the first person to count themselves out before anybody else has the opportunity. And a lot of times with that being the case, we lose a lot of great inventions, great movements, great inspirational moments because people are just, stuck with fear. And I just got tired of being fearful. So I guess that's why I just jumped into just loving life and just really trying to squeeze every ounce out of it because I already know it's stingy. So you might as well go get it.
Well, I find that a lot of us are our own worst critic, and we always find reasons why not to do things, but there's more reasons to get out there and do things.
Yep. Yes, there is.
So how long have you been a barber?
I've been a barber since I was 13 years old, but I've been a pro barber for since I was 25. So, and I'm turning 36 in a few months. So, yeah, 11 years right now professionally. But I've been in the industry since I was 12. I used to be the little fat kid in the barbershop who used to get to sweep up the hair, get all the snacks for all the barbers, clean the bathroom. So I was just like a little custodian. And just being raised by 12 dope black men, in that sense, just seeing in that barbershop how these brothers are just dope in their own right, like cutting hair and just really making money being entrepreneurs. I'd like to tell people that typically the first entrepreneur that you meet is a barber or a stylist, and so those were like my first examples of people who were just like really getting out, doing stuff that was like beyond their fears, really structuring their own personal business, and then it just kind of continued to grow like that. So I just always just thought it was dope that they had athletes waiting for them, people that I was watching play for the Hawks come into the shop waiting for, this barber just to get their haircut right. The lawyer, the doctor, the mayor, there were so many people who would come through there, and then there would just be the regular everyday person who just was raising his kids and just trying to be an upstanding dude. And I was just like, well, that seems like a pretty cool, lifestyle track. I wanted to hoop, but I had asthma. And I was at a 5'7", so it's not like I'm really going to, make it to the NBA, but even though I can hoop though, don't get it twisted. I can hoop. But that wasn't going to be, once I figured out that wasn't going to be my trend, I just kind of just stuck to what I thought was more impactful in the community, which is like being a barber. You talk to everybody every day.
Well, it's an art form in itself.
Yeah.
Well, they made a basketball movie about me.
Word. Which one was that? White Man Can't Jump?
Yeah, White Man Can't Jump.
You're Woody? You're Woody in there?
Yeah, but they left out the part that he can't shoot either.
Oh, man. Oh, okay. So he was on both ends. Okay. This is White Man. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and one of the biggest questions that people are asking right now, are you ready for Christmas?
Oh, heck no. Christmas is already here. Why would I be ready for Christmas? No one's ready for Christmas. The people who are ready for Christmas are just cheating. That's what I feel like. The people who are ready for Christmas are cheating. One thing that I am ready is, and I'm seeing right now, my wife is really ready because I'm literally sitting on a pile of like the family pajamas that we're going to be taking to Houston for the family. So yeah, y'all going to see one of those nice little pictures of me pretty soon.
Oh, sweet. So you're going into Houston, huh?
Yeah, that's where my dad and them. That's where my dad and them are from. So, I was born in Houston, raised in Atlanta, Georgia, and then I went to high school in Morristown, Tennessee, and then I was moved back to Atlanta to pretty much just pursue my career in, I guess, barbering. So.
Oh wow. Well, we're actually going back to the Houston area for Christmas ourselves. I'm originally from Baytown. I don't know if you know.
Okay, word. I'm from Mo City.
All right.
I'm from Mo City.
And,
yeah. So we out here. We're two Texaners, huh? Two big Texaners.
My wife's a Pasadena girl.
Okay, look at y'all. Look at y'all.
And her.
And I see the bangs
in Tennessee.
I see the bangs, wife. I see the bangs. I see you, love. I see you. Okay, girl. Get them bangs right. I see you.
But no, really, one of the top questions that we ask is, what got you started in the paranormal field?
I guess I would have to be as honest as I could be. What got me into the paranormal field was my brother, Dalen Spratt. I used to be his barber when he was still living in Atlanta. And we actually worked on a project prior to that actually was a sitcom that me and him were working on, a little low-budget sitcom they worked on probably some years ago, maybe almost 10 years ago. We might do a Throwback Thursday about that. But we were on this little sitcom together, and we just kind of bonded. And we just really grew to be great friends. And so after the sitcom didn't really get picked up, I just kind of continued in barbering. He was coming, getting his haircut, and he was always been just a very smart, driven, dope guy. And he just was like, yo, man, I got this concept of, me and Jawan had this concept of doing a paranormal investigation show. And he's like, you're a stand-up comedian. You like making people laugh. And I know you ain't no punk. And I said, yeah, okay, cool. He said, you want to come hunt ghosts with us? I was like, well, hunt the Holy Ghost? Because that's the only ghost that I know. Robo Shaka. I hunt the Holy Ghost every Sunday. It's called service. That's what I do. It's called going to church.
Hey,
so I I was a little reluctant at first, but he's a very persuasive guy, and he just was like, "Yo, man, just come try it out." And so we tried it out. We did a pilot episode, which was the first time that I ever went on a paranormal investigation. We did we went to Sorella Sweet House in Savannah, Georgia, and we did my first hunt. It was just crazy. So it was funny because it was allowed me to get over a fear of the paranormal, but at the same time, it like made me feel like, okay, if I can get over that, then I can pretty much just do anything after that. So just so happened that everybody loved the pilot. You know, Discovery Channel loved the pilot. They put us on Destination America the first season. Second season, they premiered us on TLC, and then they moved us back over to Destination America. And from there, it was just a good situation, just fun. And ever since then, I've just found it interesting on like more so like the stories behind most of these investigations is what really triggers my curiosity a lot of times. It's just the knowing why, wanting to know why, how, what, all those things. And I think that's what's kind of drawn me to it to continuously do it now. So, yeah, that's how I got started.
Well, do you find that some of the people that are into doing the shows and stuff, and by no means I'm not counting y'all in this category, but a lot of them are faking evidence just to get on television?
I can't speak for anybody else because I've never been on anybody else's set, but I don't fake. I know that much. So if I'm scared, I'm bouncing. If we find something, because I mean, we're natural skeptics. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's what's brought authenticity to the Ghost Brothers, because like me and Juwan are automatic like skeptics. So it's like you're not going to be like, oh, he's a skeptic. Oh, and then how do you find this? It's like, nah. You'll see it on my face, me saying, nah, that didn't just really happen. That couldn't have just happened. You know what I'm saying? So, and then the other thing is with us, like, I don't think that we really, we didn't, it's funny because we never go into a situation looking for evidence. We look for the truth. Yes. So it's like it's not like we're trying to it's not like, you know what I'm saying? You don't over pursue trying to grasp everything. Like we just really go by what is presented. If we catch it, we catch it. If we don't, then it ain't hunted on that day. Maybe they were just chilling. They didn't want to come check us out. They were like, oh, the Ghost Brothers gonna come out. They're gonna be having jokes. I ain't want to deal with all that. So the ghosts just be like, I'm just gonna chill tonight. I'm gonna go to sleep. It could be all that. But for us, I know specifically for us, we go into every investigation almost like blindfolded. The day we get there, we learn about the story. We dig deeper so that we can ask the right questions while we're out there investigating. And it's just one of those things where just like, there's no need to fake it, because you fight so much fight so much to try to prove that it's real, that it's like, well, I mean, it's like, yo, we got cameras. Like, you gonna believe it or you're not gonna believe it. If you think we doctored it, you just were already gonna think that we were doctoring it anyway. So,
exactly. So, what's been your favorite place to investigate so far?
Rose Hall, Jamaica, and I don't know if it was because we were in Jamaica, but I think it was because we were in Jamaica. Yeah, pretty much it was because we were in Jamaica. But,
I don't blame you. I would want to go just for that myself.
Yeah, Rose Hall was Rose Hall was a very interesting place. The story was very compelling as far as like the White Witch. It was just you could connect several ways to that type of investigation. Of course, the landscaping was beautiful, the home was beautiful, but you could always feel some type of dread in there. So it was just like, oh man, it was real nerve wracking. I will definitely tell you guys it was massively nerve wracking, because it was like you'll wake up, you're like, oh, look how pretty Jamaica is, and then the nightfall hits, you're like, oh snap, are we really looking for ghosts? It's like, how did we swing that? We were just on a resort drinking some doggone mixed drinks, and now we over here saying, now we're trying to get EVP readings. Maybe we should have thought about this a little bit better, So,
oh man,
yes.
So, okay, let's talk off camera. What's probably one of the scariest or weirdest things you've ever run into?
I think I didn't even need to say because I already knew what that answer was. I just wanted to give a very much more. Of course, Cleveland, Ohio. I don't even remember what the name, whatever that place was called. The Devil's Airbnb, I think is what the title was. It was the most demonic place that I've ever been to, and it was just kind of one of those things where you have to really check and see where your spirituality is, even when you're pursuing the paranormal, because essentially you're still trying to investigate the dead in a sense. You understand? Mm-hmm. But you're still trying to alleviate some of that disaster, if you will. So I would say that Cleveland was a very unsettling place because it wasn't necessarily we were trying to find, a specific. It wasn't that we were trying to find a specific story, but it was more so that the environment that it was in and what it was used for, it right now had such a demonic presence that you're not even realize. You're like, yo, this might be demons versus a spirit trying to cross or whatever. This might be an inside, and you're like, I'm cool with having demons following me. Ghosts, I ain't mad at a ghost, a nice ghost. A nice ghost can come follow me to the crib because maybe he can pick up on the water bill or the light bill. He can pitch in or something. If I forget to leave the door, if I forget to leave the refrigerator door open, he can close it, saving me money. But a demon ain't doing all that stuff. A demon doing way dumber things than that. So yeah, I was like, I'm not good with that one. So that was probably the one that I was pretty much not for. I was not for that one.
So a lot of us will use sage and things like that for protection, different symbols. I guess you would say probably your spirituality and prayer would be your biggest shield.
Yeah, well, shoot, I use it all. Like I practice safe ghosting. You know what I'm saying?
Do they make condoms for that?
I know. I keep faded Trojan is what they might call it. I don't know. You know what it is. So I wrap it up, man. I wrap it up in prayer, wrap it up in holy water, wrap it up in, I'll get a cinnamon stick, have that in my pocket, sage, bug spray, anything needed and necessary to keep any spirits from not, following me. I will definitely apply it, because like I said, I'm just there to investigate more so. I'm not there to crack the case all the time. I'm just there to, okay, something's here. It's here, guys. I'll see y'all later. And that's how I kind of like to go about mine.
Do y'all like to pull a lot of practical jokes on each other while you're on an investigation?
Well, okay, I'll say it like this. Brothers, I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to give y'all some code and some culture. Brothers don't play that practical stuff on each other. Black dudes don't play with practical jokes. We too serious. We getting shot out here sometimes. So cats don't even have no little sense of humor like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get pulled over by these kinds of stuff. So long story short, we don't be doing that because one, we are already like, yo, one step away from quitting every week. I'm one bad moment. And y'all go like, on the last episode of Marcus Harvey, Ghost Brothers, it's going to be like that. So we don't play them practical jokes. Well, actually we do, because I did pull a practical joke on Jawan, putting a little dog. But that's because they tried me first. So we only do stuff necessary after we've kind of found as much of evidence as we need. We'll kind of start, joshing with each other a little bit. But that's after that. And I think that because of our chemistry already, like, we know each other's humor, so I think we have more fun jabbing at each other humorly wise than seeing somebody react with like a, man, stop playing. We much rather like jab somebody for the reaction of something really happening, or what I'm saying, or like the stupidity of a tactic that we might try to do to get the this entity or whatever to kind of do its thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we just kind of lay it.
Okay, my wife is anxious to know if Jalen's going to take his shirt off again this next season.
Well, I'm glad that Jalen is a combination of Jalen and Jawan and Dalen. So yes, both of them will Yes, that's what we might as well call Jalen and Juwan. Jalen.
I'm sorry. My bad.
No, it's all good. When people get that mixed up all the time because it's like the name just off back to a name like that. So long story short, but I'm pretty sure they both are in the gym right now saying that they're swearing to God that they're going to unleash the shirts for no reason. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe the next season might be them competing against one another to take the shirt off and stuff. If I take my shirt off, it's over.
Looking forward to that.
You know, if I take my shirt off, I'm gonna be honest, it's the best of both worlds. You know, I got titties too, so you know they're gonna.
Yeah, we have to stop this interview for a moment, please.
My shirt off, I'm like, oh, okay, perky at least.
Well, I know one of the things that I found so compelling that we were just hooked on the show immediately was the chemistry between you guys and the authenticity of it, and I mean y'all pretty much stand for the same things we do as far as investigating goes. Just like you said before, you don't just go in there saying, okay, we're going to prove there's something here. You look for a reasonable explanation. And you guys are original. I will say that your show is original, and I look forward to, even if they're having a marathon and I've seen them 3 or 4 times, I still sit there and I watch them because I enjoy y'all so much. And I'm not just saying it to, be saying it.
Because I'm on the show. You're not just saying that because I'm on the show and you didn't pay me. I know. Nah, man, we appreciate that. We really do. I mean, we enjoy the show. Like, we love the show. And even when, to this day, when those marathons do run, like I sometimes find myself watching them and like, oh snap, that was funny. That was super funny. And it's like cool that like some of these jokes are still lasting. Like now it's almost 2 years or a year and a half now. So it's like it didn't lose it. Like with something being authentic and something being genuine, like it never is dated. You understand? You feel me? It's like it's always one of those things where it's just like it feels like it's supposed to continue to be this way. So I think, like you said, that's why people really rock with our show, because we're not gonna waste your time or your viewing time because everybody's watching something. So we're not gonna waste your time with no garbage.
I hear you.
So yeah.
I think my favorite was when you were going after the doppelganger and they called you Darkus.
Yeah, I dabbed them cats in the face off camera. Y'all didn't see that. That's why everything was black and white for the rest of the episode. But shoot, we all dark. I don't know what they trying to act like. Shoot, ain't gonna complexion shame me. I'm sexy. They wish they was dark as me. Shoot, everybody wish they was dark as me while you're playing. Chocolate sexy ass. I'm sorry, I just got on my own stuff right there. I saw the mirror and I said, man, stop it looking at me like that. I looked in the mirror, I was like, stop looking at me like that. Joe cute ass.
Oh my goodness. Now it done made me forget what I was going to ask next.
It's all good. It's all love, baby. It's all love.
But
so what did you guys about that? What was you guys' favorite episodes?
Oh my gosh. I'll have to say, and I was going to incorporate this in one of the questions we were going to ask, but when y'all went to, and I can't remember the name of the place, but I remember the situation. You were going to try to find a place that had a prostitute in it, and you were on the phone with your wife, and you're telling her, "Oh, babe, I'm going to look for this prostitute."
She's like, a prostitute? I was like, she dead. I mean, dang it. When your wife calls a lot of times, and that's the dope thing about our show too. My wife really, really rocks with our show. Like my mom loves our show. All of our moms love our show, our show. And it's just funny, like, because my wife like participates. And so it was like, she literally does call me at the wrong times. And that was like, the dope thing about that one was that I had my mic on and I was just going to I kept telling her, I was like, you're going to call me at the wrong time, and I'm just gonna put you on speakerphone and you're gonna be on TV. She's like, no, I'm not. I don't do that. I always call when I'm supposed to. Boom. Seguin, Texas. Hey, what are you doing? Looking for this prostitute right now. What are you talking about? And it was just like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't have said this prostitute, but I was scared at the moment. I was in a hotel that had an axe murderer spirit in there, so I'm like, I don't know if I really want to be around this situation. And it just was like, I'm just trying to speak her to get her off the phone, and you just kind of get yourself caught up in some thing. Yeah, but yeah.
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. My favorite episode is when you guys are dancing in the ballroom. I rewound that and watched that over and over and over.
Like your slide. Now we did practice that because Jawan was offbeat the first 5 takes. He was offbeat the first 5 takes. So, and I was like, we're not as the only black men in paranormal. We will not mess up the traditional electric slide. We will not be known as those guys. Pulled by nobody. So yeah, we had to do that one over a couple of times. But besides that, it was cool. It was cool. Nothing else had. We never did anything else over and over again.
Yeah.
If we missed it, we missed
it. It was practiced at all. It looked awesome. I loved it.
Yeah.
Well, my question is, where did you come up with these taglines? You gonna pop the trunk on these ghosts and?
Okay, pop the trunk on these ghosts is massively easy. Pop the trunk has been a statement that's been said in our community for a long time. Meaning, like there's a weapon in my trunk. Kevin Hart made the line very famous on one of his stand-up specials, and I was like, "Yo, you might as well we got like the only thing we got in defense is in this trunk," and it just so happened to be all of our equipment was in the trunk. So I was like, "We might as well pop the trunk on these ghosts because it's a pun." So that's what I guess straight ghosting. I mean, when you have swag, you're just gonna add. You're gonna add your type of dialect to whatever new industry that you're in. So, we knew what we were doing. So we was like, we straight ghosting out here. And so that one, really popped on. And then, I guess, what was one that might have kind of like caught on a little bit.
You're like, ghosted out.
Oh, that's just because I'm a weird singer and I just like singing sometimes. So I did it one time because it was like, I was really excited that we were about to leave this joint. And I just had I had the pack on still, and it was like, Ghost Brothers, go. And I just sang it. And then randomly I watched the episode and they had put it in there. I was like, oh snap. And then they just made sure that it was always in there after that. So that was kind of cool. And then STD, sexually transmitted disease, was a joke that I came up with while I was there. And I was like, yo, you should say that. You should say that, Dalen. And so Dalen came up and was like, yo, man, these sexually these STDs. So spiritually transmitted diseases out here. You gotta keep it safe. Like I said, you got a straight ghost. You gotta keep it wrapped up, baby. Ghost Trojans.
Yep. I love it.
So, can you talk about anything that's coming up, and when are we going to expect to see y'all?
Well, we do have some live events coming up pretty soon. We definitely have one the weekend of February 9th, with the Tennessee Rape Chasers, actually. So it's going to be a collabo. So I'm about to start dropping that pretty soon, so that people can come out. It's going to be another competition that we did like last time. We did at I think it was a Dragon Con or a different event that we did together with the Tennessee Rape Chasers, and it was just cool. So they rock with us, we rock with them. It's just like, we were able to have fun with them, they're able to have fun with us. So I think that's going to be one that's coming up. We're always working with Amy, with Amy and them, and just kicking it with them on the Strange Escapes. And hopefully, prayerfully, you might see some Ghost Brothers 2019. You might, I don't know. We're seeing what's happening. If we got to film it ourselves, on our cell phones, like then we might have to do that. So, but we're definitely going to have a lot of events this year as far as live, because I think we with the show, we just always like to let people feel what we feel when we go out and do our investigations, because I think that we give, like you said, that authenticity we always want to prove people that, yo, this ain't no make believe. This is what we really do. We really have a good time when we do it. We really make sure that, you know, we're respectful of whatever spirit is in there, and we just keep our thing, you know, keep it really pushing forward.
Yeah. Well, you know, one of the things that I think disappoints some of the people that follow us on Facebook and Instagram is we don't have a whole lot of our evidence on there, because if we have any doubt, we're not going to put it on there. And you know, and I am harder on myself about the evidence than some of the other people in the group. But I just feel like I'm not going to shortchange people, and if I lose followers and people get disinterested, I'm sorry. It's going to have to be the real thing, or I'm not going to show it. So, you know, I find it hard to believe that every one of these other shows that I watch has tons and tons and tons of evidence. And I mean, how many have you been on that you'll sit there for hour and hour and hour and hour and nothing happens?
Yeah, well, with us, we have we typically investigate for 2 days. Right. Typically with our locations. So, you know, like we show us just I think what makes us cool, or what makes it cool for us, is that why we don't have to get evidence, but we just get it, is because we're not necessarily required to show it. We're all, like I said before, we're just going in there skeptical, and we know that just the way that we're approaching to make sure that we're doing our checks and balances for evidence is just as entertaining as you finding evidence. Sometimes it's like, yo, that's a creative move that you guys did. Yo, that's a creative mentality or type of trigger object, or you guys are using this new technology, you're using that new technology, or you're using this ancient technology, or using, you know, your own DIY type issues. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what we kind of focus on more so than anything. It's just like trying to find creative ways to make sure that we can get evidence versus like just doing the typical ways to find evidence.
Hey, one of our followers is asking a question. He said, what part of Atlanta did you grow up in?
Oh, Gwinnett County. Gwinnett County. Shouts out to Gwinnett. I went to Lilburn Middle School, went to Meadow Creek High School for a semester, and then I moved to Tennessee, Morristown, Tennessee, where everybody talks like this. Hey, Marcus. Hey, Harvey.
Yeah, so I lived in Nashville for about 2 years, and I couldn't believe I'm from Texas, and Texans always get the flack, you know, for all the accents.
Oh,
talking like this. I don't find very
Tennessee
many people in Texas that talk that way.
They don't talk slow in Texas. They talk very sharp, precise. I'm oil man.
Go Cowboys.
Have you ever investigated any interesting places in Atlanta?
How about them? Say that again?
I said, have you investigated any interesting places in Atlanta?
We have in Washington, Georgia, and this year we are doing a lot more. Some of the locations that were very interesting that have been renovated in a sense, like they just tore it down or something like that. So a lot of those historic spots in Atlanta have kind of been put, you know, here and there. So you got to find like creative spots to go investigate, like, you know, I don't know, some creative spots to kind of find it. You know what I'm saying?
So y'all plan on doing more investigations away from the limelight?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, that's what those live events are going to be, more so than anything. Us just really getting you guys to kind of come out with us. You know, it's always funner when there's more people involved, and then sometimes we do our own investigations if we find something that is really, really curious. And you never know. One day we might just come to people's houses and just see if they got ghosts in their houses or something like that. Spend the night at their crib.
Y'all need to come out to Austin.
Y'all got a haunted house?
Not our house, but there's a lot of locations around here. Like the Driscoll Hotel is famous.
Word.
And a few of the cemeteries around here. I mean, and the history behind most of them are worth the trip out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of Indian burial ground around here, so
Yeah.
So I have a question from my friend Rodney in Houston. He says you mentioned about the house that y'all were looking for the prostitute, and he wanted to know if you could get him the hookup.
I'll pass his number back. Tell him I pass her number. You know what I'm saying to him, and maybe they can get, him and his friends can get with their friends, and they can all be friends. If that's all right with them.
That's all him.
So, anything going on that you want to talk about? Going on for yourself, away from the group. Anything any kind of endeavors you got going on?
Well, I'm just continuously cutting hair. Still cutting for the NBA. Pop-up shops here. Opening up another. Expanding my business. Opening another barbershop, or actually another salon. Excuse me, another salon in the next few months. Also starting a product line. I have a couple of philanthropy initiatives that I'm doing as far as with children of felons getting vouchers for haircuts. Also doing a situation called Prom Kings, where I'm giving under privileged young high school students tailored suits from Dayland and Dewan and haircuts for me for their prom and dinner on us. Other things we're trying to create is just bridging the gap, man. Just trying to make sure that everybody. And I think I forgot to say one thing about this too. I think why we love investigating and ghost hunting and ghost investigating, as they say, is because we like to let people be who they are. You know what I'm saying? And feel cool in who they are, feel cool in their own skin. And if they're interested in something such as paranormal, to dive into that. If you're into something like bug collecting, dive into that. And we just know that when you dive into it, you're the person who's gonna make it fly. So, that's how we kind of just roll with it. And those are the things that I'm just trying to do, more so maintain and grow and expand. So it's gonna be a big year, 2019. Raise my kids right, spoil my wife,
You better
make life, hopefully.
Well, see, I think we've fallen more in love with you now, because you are the positive person that I thought you were.
Oh man, I appreciate that.
How many locations
Appreciate
do you have right now?
We have one in East Point, Georgia, but like I said, I'm actually literally I have 12 spaces that I'm looking at right now in my phone. So we're looking to expand within the next 5 years to having maybe 10 shops across the country. So I'm building it to a franchise type of situation and structure now. So got a pretty good team around me who are helping me, get all my visions out, and who are just really executing around me. And, we're just kind of moving forward like that.
So you need to bring a shop out to Austin. You got all those football players from the UT and A&M and all that.
I love Austin. I'm actually going to be doing a pop-up for South by Southwest during South by Southwest.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah. Well, let us know.
Yeah, I'm cultured, baby. I'm all over the place, baby.
Man, we'll take you out to dinner, or we'll cook one for you. How's that?
Sounds like a plan. Slap.
Yeah, I haven't got to go to Southwest yet. We've just moved here from Houston almost a year ago now, and anyway, my wife lived here before, and before we met, but that's a story for another time. But I'm with you. I love it here in Austin, and I know you put a shop here, the kids would go crazy.
Oh yeah, they're going crazy. I already know.
Yep. It's college town, so it's a perfect place.
Yeah. Well, guys, I got to get to a stage tonight. I might be jumping on stage tonight, so I got to get the call. The call time is at 9:10, so I got to make sure I'm on that sign up list so I can get my work on.
Well, man, I tell you what, I surely appreciate your time. You don't know what this means to us, and I hope we're able to keep in contact.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, let's don't just make this a radio thing. Let's stay in touch.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys for having me on. And if anybody wants to find me anywhere, y'all can find me on my Instagram at the Marcus Harvey. My Facebook, it's after it got hacked. My Facebook got hacked too. I just wanted to put that out there.
Oh.
It hurt my heart. I can't see my picture. So my Facebook got hacked, so I'm starting my whole page back over right now. So it's Marcus Harvey. You can go to my website, thebarberstar.com. That's also some stuff that's going to have me, doing some things. And then, we're just going to continue to grind and grow.
Well, all right, man. Anything else you want to add before we go off there?
I mean, shoot. Cowboys going to win the Super Bowl this year. How about them?
Oh, amen. Now, I tell you what, you're going to get the best meal you ever had in your life.
Hopefully Dak does a little bit better on not missing those big plays to Amari, and they can connect a little bit better. And maybe they can get Ezekiel running a little bit more too. So they're going to get him some more touches, keep that defense fresh, and that's going to be an easy way to go ahead and get that Super Bowl.
I tried to get my daughter married off to Dak, but I guess he wasn't going for it.
Dak got him.
Very nice young man. We got to meet him. He's a very nice young man. Well, anyway, we're going to leave it at that, and thank you once again. You've been just wonderful, and as I said, please stay in touch, and if you're ever in town, give us a holler, and we'd love to go on a hunt with y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's make it happen.
All right, pass it on to your buddies if they'd like to get on air. I would love to talk to them as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just DM. Especially Dalen, definitely jump on. And Juwan, both of them actually will. So, yeah, just hit them up.
I'll do that. Thank you so much.
All right, guys.
Merry Christmas.
Have a blessed night.
You too.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Paw boy.
Thank you for joining us on Into the Pit. Please follow us on Facebook at the Vibes Broadcast Network and Instagram at the Vibes Broadcast.